Welcome back yet again. We're going to go through another example in which we're being asked to factorize a cubic. So we're going to follow our 3 steps. So let's begin. Our first step is trial and error to find a factor. So this is where we're using our factor theorem. We're using our factor theorem. And what we're going to be doing is subbing in factors of our constant here into our polynomial until we get 0 out, and that means we've found a factor. So the factors of 6 are what we're going to be considering here. So plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 6. And we're just going to keep doing this until we get 0 out. So this is the most painful part of this process. So let's give it a go. P of 1 is going to be equal to 4 plus 4 minus 11 minus 6. Now, looking at this, this is going to give me... No, that's not going to work. That's definitely not going to work. Not 0. P of negative 1. Now this is going to give me negative 4 plus 11 minus 6. Now this would cancel with this, and then no, that also would not work. So let's keep on going. Let's go P of 2. Well, this would give me 4, this would give me 8, this would give me 4 minus 22 minus 6, which is going to give me 32 plus 4 by 4 is 16 minus 22 minus 6. All right, this will not work either. This will definitely not work because, you know, 32 plus 16 is going to be way bigger than negative 22 minus 6. So that's not going to work either. Oh boy, let's go negative 2. So you can see this is a painful process. This is going to give me 4 of negative 8. Then it will be plus 4. Then it will be plus 22, then it will be minus 6. Okay, so this will be negative 32 plus 16 plus 22 minus 6, which will be minus 38 if I go negative 32 minus 6. And then over here, this will be negative 38 plus 38, because 16 plus 22 is 38. And guess what? That is equal to 0. So that means, therefore, when x is equal to negative 2, the result is 0. Therefore, x plus 2 is a factor. So it's really important that you recognize that you changed the sign, because remember, what you would end up doing is going x plus 2 is equal to 0, so x is equal to negative 2. So you're always kind of doing that step. So in other words, you're changing the sign. So this is the important line here. X plus 2 is a factor. That's the important thing that we have to be doing here. All right, having done that now, the next thing that we do is polynomial long division. So that's our next step, polynomial long division. So the first step is the factor theorem, bit of trial and error. Then the next one is polynomial long division. So you divide P of x by the factor that we just found, x plus 2. So now I have to zoom out just to have a look at what my P of x is. So it's going to be x plus 2. Then it's going to be 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 11x minus 6. Okay, good. Make sure you write it out correctly. So remember, by doing this, what we're going to be finding is our other factor. Okay, so this is going to be 4x squared, 4x cubed, plus 8x squared, brackets, minus. This will be negative 4x, negative 4x squared, carry down this will be negative 11x, this will be negative 4x, this will be negative 4x squared, this will be minus 8x, brackets, minus. This is going to be end up being plusing negative 3x, carry this down to be minus 6. This is going to be a negative 3, then it's going to be negative 3x minus 6, brackets 0. That will be 0. Remember, it's super duper important that when you're doing this that you get 0 out, because remember, x plus 2 is a factor. That's what we saw. So when I divide it by this, I need to get 0 out, because a factor means it goes in perfectly with no remainders. So I needed to get a remainder of 0. If you didn't, you've done something wrong. So that means after all of that, what I can say is that p of x is going to be equal to my divisor, x plus 2, multiplied by my quotient. Because remember, this right here is my other factor. 4x squared minus 4x minus 3. Perfect. Having done that, now we come to our third step. My third step is, whoopsie daisy, factorize the quadratic. And let me add that sometimes this isn't possible. So sometimes you can't factorize a quadratic. The discriminant is less than 0. There's nothing you can do. So just be aware of that. But in this case, we will be able to do it. So I'm going to get x plus 2, 4x squared minus 4x minus 3. Okay. So we're going to be factorizing this right here. Now we have to be careful when we're factorizing this, because we've got a coefficient in front of x squared, or a coefficient of x squared here. It just makes things a bit trickier. So remember, the way that you find your product is by going 4 times negative 3, so 4 times negative 3, and that's going to give me negative 12. My sum is still going to be what's in front of x here, so that's negative 4. And now I need to think of factors of those. So factors of those that give me negative 4 from that will be 6 and 2, and it will be negative 6 and 2. Negative 6 and 2. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come here, I'm going to go x plus 2, and I'm going to go 4x squared, and I'm going to write this negative 4x as negative 6x plus 2x. So the numbers that I got here, so negative 6, 2, 2x. So negative 6, negative 6x, 2, 2x, then minus 3. Perfect. Then, once you've done that, just remember your x plus 2 is always just hanging out here. We now factorize, and then we're going to do this. I now factorize just this part, and I just factorize this part. So that means, what can I take out here? Well, I can take out 2x. So that is what I shall do. I shall take out 2x here, and I'll be left with x minus 3. Perfect. And now that I'm over, oh, sorry, I made a little mistake there. This should be 2x minus 3. Because 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times minus 3 is 6x. 2x times minus 3 is 6x. And then over here, we're actually just going to take 1 out. Because the aim of the game when you're doing these things is to make sure that this is the same as this. So you both want them to be the same. So by taking nothing out here, or by taking 1 out, I achieve that goal. Perfect. Then I come to my next one. And now I can take out a common factor of 2x minus 3, because that's something that they both share. So I take out that factor of 2x minus 3. And then what I'm left behind with is 2x here, plus 1. Perfect. So we have factorized p of x. This is our final answer. This is our final answer. We have factorized our cubic, and that's what it's going to look like. So you can see there was quite a few steps, but we have successfully started with this. So a cubic, we use our factor theorem, so we put in a whole bunch of factors of our constant until we found one that gave us a 0 result. That meant that we found a factor. We then took that factor and divided it by p of x to find the other factor. And then we took that other factor, which was a quadratic, and we factorized it. And that is how we did it. So hopefully that makes sense. You can see there's quite a bit of working out here, quite a big question. And that's all to just factorize a cubic. Hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.